Can you hear me? Interwebs? Can you or can you not? That's what I need to know. I see nothing in the chat. Perhaps I'm here, all by my lonesome. Just me and my saws. Facts not feeling shirt. Just hanging out. I got nothing. No comments. Oh well, so be it. Actually, you may not know this. Oh, Sammy's here. Hello, Mackenzie. What's going on? Howdy, and there they go. That fast. Jen and Steve, Josh Davey, Andrew, Warhamana, Samuel. Oh my gosh, too fast, can't read them. The best, tremendous, believe it. I saw somebody in the chat before I went live said something to the effect of, oh my gosh, something big must be going on. No, something big is not going on, or if it is, I am blissfully unaware of it. What's going on is I had a rare occasion where my Tuesday evening is less full than usual, and so here we are. In fact, I actually got a question from a patron, which I have addressed on camera, that said something to the effect of, hey, how do you feel about your air quote followers, like hanging on your every word? Because I've noticed some of these other prepping channels, people will be like, I can't wait to see what he's going to tell us about today because like I just couldn't go through life without him. And I'm like, I hate that. I'm not going to expound upon that Patreon video, which is forthcoming. But yeah, I hate that. Don't put me on a pedestal. Don't think, oh my gosh, Bear broke his regularly scheduled programming protocol. There must be something big going on. No, you know what's going on that's big? I had a rare opportunity where my Tuesday evening was not jammed full of stuff, and so here I am. Okay, cool. I'm here to hang out. Although, look, this phone won't load me, which is making it incredibly difficult to see your comments. What's up, the encouraging community? Waiting for Bear Independent. I'm live, dude. I'm live. YouTube won't even let me YouTube myself. Par for the course, right? Shall we try one more time? Let's try one more time. Who cares? Anyway, so typically the way that this works is you are going to ask the Q's. I'm going to do my best to provide the A's. And the way that you do that, the primary thing you need to understand is you must be nice to each other in the chat. If you can't observe like kindergarten level rules, like play nice, share, if you can't say something nice, don't say it at all. Like treat each other with respect. If you can't observe those basic kindergarten level rules, you're not going to be allowed to hang out here. Somebody with a blue wrench is going to come along and just schwack you right in the back of the head, and we're going to have issues. And then you're going to become a whiny little a-hole and whine in the chat and email us and all this other stuff about how it's not allowed. You can't. Negative. Kindergarten level rules. Shalom, Tommy Salter. There's my bro. So be cool to each other. Next rule, super simple. Put your questions in all caps. If I see them, I will answer them. If I don't see them, I can't answer them. And if I see them and I just don't feel like answering them, then I probably won't. Also, I may at times refer you to one of the other 6,000 pieces of content that we've done. You can't see my hands. I'm super Italian right now. I'm like boogieing over here on this side of the camera. I may refer you to one of the other 6,000 videos and live streams that we've done to maybe clarify your question. Okay? And if a blue wrench has answered your question in the chat, your question's answered. What else is there? What's up, Survival Savages? See? All caps. I saw that. Yeah. So, there we go. Welcome. Tactical Tuesday. Will you put your Bible videos on Blue Collar Press? No. There is a Grindstone channel that is in the process of being populated right now that will have all of the Bible videos copied over to them. They're not going away on Bear Independent, but they will be copied over to the Grindstone channel. In addition to all of our disaster relief efforts and all that other stuff, it'll all be copied over to the Grindstone channel. Why can't I see me on my telephone? What's up, Kim Gordon? Chicken Farmer Plus, what's up, brother? Shalom. I don't know. Do the best you can with what you've got where you're at, right? Please tell Hami the meeting went well. No bail money was needed. LOL. I will tell her that. What's up, Cindy P? Shalom, sister. There we go. Now I see me. Dr. Trevor Wilkinson is here, ready to schwack the trolls. I have a question. LB, then send it. What stock can I use for a 300 Weatherby Magnum? I don't know. Yes to a Grindstone channel. Awesome. Tate Napier. What's up? Kentucky Sustainable Living. Hey, I got your email. This would be a great opportunity to do this. Kentucky Sustainable Living, good dude, reached out to us and said, hey, we are doing a fundraising thing for Vets for Child Rescue. Where did that email go? There it is, right there. So, doobie-doobie-doo. I am doing a live. This is from Kentucky Sustainable Living. I know it's short notice, but I'm doing a live with Forrest from Vets for Child Rescue tonight. Oh, it was tonight? Jeez Louise. I'm including a link in the live in this email. Also, as soon as we get a flyer made to the event, I'll send it to you. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the link. Dang it, I missed it. So, Kentucky Sustainable Living. Go check them out. Support Vets for Child Rescue. They're doing some fundraising stuff with Vets for Child Rescue. Craig Sawman Sawyer, good dude. Got him in my phone. We talk. They're also about going out there and making sure that bad shit happens to bad people and rescuing children from pedophiles. Kentucky, I apologize, man. Right here with all these witnesses, 379 people here, I messed up. I read your email too quickly, and I missed the fact that that was tonight, which was not tonight. That was June the 6th. So I apologize. That's my bad. I feel terrible about that. In the meanwhile, you can go to KentuckySustainableLiving.com and go check it out. KentuckySustainableLiving.com. I feel like if you can't spell Kentucky or sustainable, you've opted out from the ability to participate in KentuckySustainableLiving.com. ETA on Refuge Medical Shears. Man, I wish I knew. 90 to 180 days, hopefully. Bless you, the 12th C. Ugh, I'm sorry. I really feel bad about that. KSL. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Thanks for all the foot traffic. I'm over 100 followers on Instagram and 44 on YouTube, the 12C Conditioning. Go check him out. Go check him out. Good brother right there. Met him in person. What's in the glass? Slumming it a little bit tonight, being perfectly honest.
I'm in the glass.
You are not in the glass. There's not a 6-year-old in the glass. I always want to say toddler because that's how I have referred to her forever, the tactical toddler. She's not a toddler anymore.
I am a kid.
Yeah, you're like a full-blown child now. Way to go. You made it. It is ice with a splash of Jim Beam topped with Mike's Hard Lemonade. So here we are. How far along is Caleb's house? So it's Caleb. You got the K part. That was good. You got the K part. That was good, but there's no apostrophe. It's Caleb house. And land is secured and site work is being done. We're about ready to put up our barn. We are, what did I say?
Eat some pizza.
Thank you so much. I would tell her to go play in traffic, but there is none because we live in the country. And of course I would be kidding. We're about ready to put up our barn. Other than that, we are funds starved for everything else we want to do. What's something that is needed to be made in the USA in the prepper market? Well, so because of the industries I'm in, my brain immediately goes to tactical nylon. But really, we need more sew shops, being frank. Like, because I go to ballistic nylon, tactical nylon, and I'm like, there are good companies out there. SOE Tactical Gear, for example, right? Like, great company, great quality, great people. But they're at capacity. We are like at capacity. What else? Everything's like freaking made in China, man. And if it's not made in China and it's made here, you can 2x, 3x the price. I think it's more about what need can you fill in the market space and then filling that in a righteous and moral way. Bear, is Glock still your side or got something new? Well, Tate Napier, funny you should ask. This, of course, is for demonstration purposes only. This is a training. It's not a firearm. This is a replica, perfect replica for training purposes only, YouTube. See how good of a replica that is? Yeah. Good prepper field manuals. Maybe, Bobby. Maybe. But what's up, bro, Morris? Just said a prayer over that need for Grindstone and Caleb House. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you, brother Morris. Bobby LeClaire. Field manuals are cool, but they're like kindergarten level learning. The field manuals don't matter if you don't go do the things that are in the field manuals so that you can learn where the field manuals were wrong. Okay? Okay. There was a sock mill in every southern small town 50 years ago. That's freaking awesome. Right now, I run Covert Threads, awesome sock company. Former Marine, awesome dude, best socks on planet Earth. But I love good socks. But I don't think I've ever heard you say if you have a favorite revolver or not. Yeah, I like the Smith & Wesson full frame 6-inch barrel 357s. And I like the 357 because it's a ubiquitous round. It has plenty of power for almost everything. In my area, for everything. I don't need a 44 Magnum. I don't need a 454 Casull. I don't need 45 Long Colt. 357, good to go. And then if you combine that with the 357 lever gun, good to go. And I'm also, let's be frank, grew up in a house. Let's always admit our biases when we chat, right? I grew up in a house where the alarm system was a dog and the security system was whoever was inside the house. And in the living room, on a bookshelf, fourth shelf up, center bookshelf, was a stainless steel Smith & Wesson 357 4-inch barrel revolver. And everybody in the house, including the children, knew where it was and how to use it. And if you touched that thing for no good reason, you got an ass whipping. And so we were, like, from a young age, taught how to use this thing. But we were not allowed to touch it unless there was need. So there's a soft spot in my heart for Smith & Wesson 357s. Booby-dooby-doo. I really like, what were those? Oh, I can't remember what they were called. Smith & Wesson 8-shot, long barrel, full-size 357, like 8-inch barrel. There were four, you have your ballistic shield. If you're making entry, then you'd have this revolver to push around the ballistic shield. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about? Those things were phenomenal. I really like those. What's your thoughts on Mel Gibson and Tim and the Sound of Freedom movie that finally came out? Well, Rich Dollars, yeah, you might have hit a nerve. All right. Father, give me the words for this one. All right. On the one hand, and I'm going to go ahead and just mute comments for a minute so I don't get distracted because I want to address this with as much intentionality as I can muster. On the one hand, I'm really thankful that people are finally waking up to what's happening with human trafficking. So that's over here. On the other hand, and like, this isn't going to be like a two sides of the coin thing. There's like 8 or 10 facets to this conversation, so hang with me. I'm also appreciative that maybe people are just beginning to grasp like 1% of what it is that we deal with on a daily basis. And that's a big deal. And I've never met Tim Ballard. I know a lot of people at his organization. I've talked to his wife on the phone. We are building Caleb House to their specifications for an aftercare facility. I'm not intimately involved in the inner workings of OUR, but I know a thing or two about them, and they know a thing or two about us. I've never met Tim. I've met Glenn Beck on several occasions, stopped and talked and had conversations with Glenn Beck, who funded that mission that's in that movie in Sound of Freedom. And I think they're doing the right thing. By they, I mean Tim and Operation Underground Rescue. I don't know about Mel Gibson. I've never met that man. But I know a lot of people around Tim. I've never met Tim. And I know what it's like to put your life on the line to go and do the right thing. And I think it's awesome that people are finally waking up to what maybe that looks like. Now, on the other hand, I don't like the fact that Sound of Freedom is a movie about Tim that touches on juvenile human trafficking and the disgusting practices that take place with that. Because Yeshua himself, Messiah himself, says, "Why do you call me good? None is good but Elohim." Meaning, don't put the spotlight on me, point it back to the Father. And so I don't, on the one hand, I'm not saying that Tim was like, let's make a movie about me that's also kind of about human trafficking. But on the other hand, knowing what I know about Hollywood and producing a box office smash, if it's not based around a central character, nobody's going to pay attention to it. What is touched on in that movie is 0.1% of the actuality. I know and love people who have been in anti-trafficking for a long time. CSAM, child sexual exploitation material. They had to hang it up because they couldn't take it anymore. Once you begin to see the depth of atrocities that certain human beings are capable of, a part of your soul dies. And there's hatred and anger and resentment and hurt, and it triggers your own wounds from back in the day, whatever they may be, and it's just a whirlwind of emotions, and trying to discern what is righteous and unrighteous in those moments is a huge challenge. I haven't seen the movie. I don't need to see the movie. I have people in that organization on speed dial in my phone. I don't need to go watch the movie. I knew Tim's story before it was famous, if you will. Hey, can you hold on 1 second, please, babe? Thank you. That crunchy noise, I think the microphone's picking it up, okay? Do you want to draw? Do you have paper? Oh, okay. Cool. We'll just leave these right here then, okay?
Can I also paint them?
Let's use these markers. Well, do you have a paintbrush over there next to the sink? Yeah, look next to the sink. And then there's that. You can get resentful with your own children, even for existing, because you just watched or you just saw with your own eyes shit that nobody should ever have to see, let alone experience. And it hit me like a ton of bricks one day. My oldest was complaining one day about she couldn't find the right color nail polish. And it was like There are children out there who are going through horrendous shit and you're worried about nail polish. And then praise Yah, it hit me. This is the biggest problem she has, is the wrong color nail polish. And that's a blessing. And so being able to bounce back and forth between those two worlds takes a toll on your soul. I have reached out to a lot of people who I trust for wisdom and discernment regarding Caleb House, anti-human trafficking, specifically juvenile human trafficking, those that have been sexually abused. Where is the line in righteousness? Because I can read the Bible. I know what Messiah says about this. Tie a millstone around their neck. And I know what David says. Do I not hate what you hate with a righteous hatred? I do. But if I hate somebody in my heart and they meet their maker, where's the line between killing and murder? And the best word that I got back on this from a fairly famous rabbi was, it is righteousness to hate wickedness. And then, I don't know, some of y'all do the Torah portions and some of y'all don't. But if you read the Torah portion this past week, it's the story of Phineas, who takes a spear and shoves it through Zimri and Cosby due to their unrighteousness. It's in the book of Numbers towards the end. And then the father makes a covenant of peace forever with Phineas, because of his ardor for the commands of Elohim. So there's some comfort in that big picture strategic of understanding that there are go and no-goes. And that if somebody falls so far outside of the no-go, it is righteousness to hate wickedness. But in the tactical, in the moment, it's not of much comfort. So I don't need to go watch the movie. I'm familiar with the story in the movie by means other than Hollywood. I don't know anything about Mel Gibson other than The Patriot was a good movie and so was Braveheart. I already talked to Operation Underground Rescue. I'm building our restoration facility to their specifications because their specifications exceed DHS's, Department of Homeland Security's specifications. I'll be honest, I have to bite my tongue sometimes when people will leave comments in videos like, hey Bear, you should reach out to OUR, maybe they can help. You think? Because I want to be a jerk, and I know I shouldn't be a jerk because I know that people are saying that with the best intentions. Yeah, we had that thought years ago. Thank you. So it's very frustrating. And the one thing, on the other hand, the other facet that I disagree with OUR on, and I understand why they're doing it, because anti-human trafficking is incredibly expensive. And if you don't market your ministry, nobody knows that it exists. But that, to me, I hate that. And to me, and I'm not saying they're wrong for doing it, I'm just saying that I can't. Like, I'm so bad. I'm so bad at shamelessly promoting Caleb House. Because I will never disclose the details of these operations. I will never give you details on these children. I will never tell you where they are, or where we got them from, or what happened to them, or what we had to do, or what they had to go through. Because they deserve the respect of some privacy. That's the last thing that I'm going to shine a light on. Hey, here's a 4-year-old. Let me tell you what happened to this kid. That's just as heartless as doing it to him. That's a lack of basic human decency. It's a lack of respect for that person. I'm not going to do that. And on the flip side, I understand why other ministries do. Because no funding, no operations. And that's where we sit, is somewhere in the middle, in between those two things, with no funding and no marketing. But I believe whatever I'm supposed to have, the Father will lay at my feet for me to use for His glory. And it's a real exercise in discipline to know that there's things that could be done right this minute that we don't have the funding for. But if it was the Father's will that we had the funding, we'd have it. So now you really got to wrestle with, what is God's plan? What is God's timing? And how do I, as a humble servant of Him, plug into His timing and His will and be obedient to Him, not to what I want, but what He wants. And knowing that there are horrendous things going on, knowing that, also knowing that all things work together for the glory of Yah, and that these are His people. He is aware. He has not turned a deaf ear to their cries. But for whatever reason, it's His timing, not mine. It is such an exercise in obedience and self-control that is just as breaking as the circumstances that required Caleb House to exist in the first place. And so, like I said, long answer to your short question. I have a lot of mixed feelings about the Sound of Freedom. I'm glad that people are waking up. I'm also human. I'm fleshly. I can be spiteful. Where were you a year ago? Or 2 years ago? Or 3 years ago? Or a decade ago? But then, plank spec, where was I a decade ago? Blissfully unaware that this was even a thing. Right? And so, I hope it wakes people up to what's actually happening out there. And I hope that people do more than just go to a movie, pay some lip service to it for 72 hours and forget about it and move on. And I hope that Operation Underground Rescue continues to do recovery. But I also know there's still only 420 beds in the entire country for restoration for juveniles. 420. That's it. And everybody wants to focus on the sexy shit. Let's go do ops. Let's go do CQB. Yeah, where were you for the last half a year while we were doing the workup on this target? Where are you going to be a decade from now when this 6-year-old we just recovered is 16?
Am I that person?
No, you are not that person, babe.
But I'm 6.
You are not who I'm talking about. Keep coloring. But everybody wants to throw their plate carrier on and get in the stack. Hey, Bear, I really want to help. I don't even know you. How can you help? And even that's frustrating. Because I can't let you get in a stack with us. I can't bring you to this target unless I know you. And knowing you takes time. And yeah, there's background checks. There's OSINT dives. There's all of that. But I have to know you above and beyond having data on you. Because one false move brings the whole thing tumbling down. And as I've said before, and I will say again, this thing goes all the way to the top. And that's why, although I understand what Operation Underground Rescue is doing with their marketing campaign, because this is a marketing campaign, I get it. It takes dollars to do this. I'm fully aware of that. I won't engage in that because the operational security risks are too high. I am not interested in being the star of a movie made about anything ever. Not even a little bit. Because if that keeps us from being able to get one kid, it was a mistake. So, there's 25 minutes of my convoluted thoughts on the sound of freedom. I'm sure somebody will soundbite that, take it out of context, and try and pit myself and Operation Underground Rescue against each other, which is ridiculous because, again, to repeat, I have them on speed dial on my phone. And here we are. Back to the brief. Kim Gordon, be you, Bear. Yes, ma'am. John Rambo, what's up, man? They drew first blood. Bear, how's the garden doing? Best crop so far this year for your place. Thank you for what all you continue to do to make the world a better place. Bless you, brother. Hemi, either one, Grindstone or CalebHouse.org, doesn't matter. They basically go to the same place. Garden right now is full of weeds and parched, although it has poured rain the last 3 days. It is summer now in Oklahoma, which is not a gardening season. Spring and fall are, but summer is not. Best crop thus far, dude, zucchinis. I've had more zucchinis than I've known what to do with this year. Also had a good crop of tomatoes and peppers, and I've got some Brussels sprouts I got to pick tomorrow. We got some
cabbage things.
The little cabbage things, that's right. I got some cauliflower, some broccoli. What else? Asparagus has been doing decent. All the fruit trees are dead. Most of the berry bushes are dead. Not great. Encouraging community, I love you back. Anthony Forrester, do you ride motorcycles, Bear? No, Bear does not. Bear knows enough people that have fallen off of motorcycles that I'm not interested in that. It's already been said that kids are being housed and cared for, so baked goods, I don't know what you're getting at. I can tell you this. Operation Underground Rescue owns 0 restoration facilities. Oops, I said the quiet part out loud. Where do you think they're being cared for? Heather, prayers for an amazing Whiskey with Bear event. I appreciate you. Dr. Trev, like you, Bear, I don't need to see the movie. I see it in my office daily. Right? Exactly. Bless you, Babette. Thanks, McMikey. Our berries are doing really well this year. We don't get around to all the rest. Bear, how did you get so wise? A lot of living in a short period of time. Well, they're not saying you're not wise. It's just you're 6, and I'm a lot older than 6. I'm a multiplier of 6. I don't know. I've just done a lot of stuff. My first full-time job at 15.
Me too. I got a cat.
A cat is not a full-time job.
It is for me.
Well, there you go.
And cleaning up my room, which took like
Hey Bear, are the Torah portions from a specific lesson book or just reading sections of the Torah and studying in depth? Michael Curtis, there's many different websites. You can open the inside cover of the scriptures and it'll tell you what the Torah portions are. And they're just basically a codified reading that allows you to read the entirety of the Torah once per year. And it's something that the Yehudim, the Jews, have been doing for millennia. But I like getting the Torah portions from online because they include the New Testament, which the Jews don't believe in. So inside the cover of the scriptures right there, there's all the Torah portions. I just posted about this on Patreon last week. I get my Torah portions, like, what are we reading when? I get that from First Fruits of Zion, ffoz.org, I believe. Caden Marr, do the thing, draw strength from your brethren, stand in the breach, alone you are not. Bless you. Thank you. Bare metal, thank you. Heather, my heart's not heavy tonight. It's just, Heather, come, let us reason together. My heart always looks like this when we talk about this. I just don't always talk about this. But if we go to this part of the conversation, it's always going to look like this in my heart because I always feel this way about this in my heart. So, here we are. Are you boogieing over there? You doing one of these?
Every time you talk, I boogie.
Am I doing a good job replicating your boogie?
No.
No?
No.
What do I need to do better?
Need to do better. And
More hips?
And actually hang out with my cat.
Go hang out with your cat. I don't care about your cat. You know Daddy doesn't like cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, cats are for kicking across the porch. Yeah, I said it. I said the quiet part out loud. You know Daddy doesn't like cats.
Yeah.
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 Your entire lifetime, I've never liked cats. True? Yeah. Super true.
Even when you were a kid.
Even when I was a kid, I only had one cat I ever liked.
Who was it?
His name was Mickey.
Mickey Mouse.
Yep. He was a big tabby cat that lived in the barn who killed lots of things.
Are you a barn?
I am not a barn.
Yes, you are.
All right, simmer. I made a wood chipper shirt about pedos. Roger that, KSL. Oh, Bear, please don't be ugly about cats. Hey, I'm sorry, Kathy. This is America. You're allowed to love those things if you want to. I'm not a cat person. I'm much more a dog person.
I'm on your side.
You're also a dog person?
No.
Then why do you have a cat?
Because I like cats better. Puppies just...
All right, I'm going to go pee. You're going to not get in front of the camera or I'm going to whoop your butt. And I'll be right back. Oh.
Dun, 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 dun. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. I didn't get in front of the camera.
What's that?
I didn't get in front of
You
the
sure?
camera. Yes.
Because you know I can see that, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
You can ask them.
Camo Dad 72 said drink water. Okay.
I do drink water.
Stop. Hemi said the kiddo behaved. Appreciate that. Hey, Survival Savage, Badger, y'all go easy on one another. Survival Savage, I would recommend not trespassing against the Badger. He's on staff at Bear Independent. Okay? Chill. All right. What other questions? Tommy Gupta, what's up, man? Been working all day to repair our road so we can leave our house. There's bad flooding up here in Vermont and more rain to come. Keep us in your prayers. Yes, sir. Will do. I'm sorry to hear that. That's part of living out in the country, unfortunately, is maintaining your own roads. Drop kick the cat anyways. Hey, thanks for the $4, but I was gonna do it regardless of whether you gave me $4 or not. Bear, I can now give 2 likes as long as I'm on my phone and you're on the TV. Roger that. Thanks, Ghost. Honey Badger got nothing on JS Badger. Agreed. Hey, is Heath okay? Yep, Heath is great. Spinny circle of death. Awesome. Vermont, Connecticut, New York floods. Hey, can you just leave those be for right now, please? It's really loud. I know it doesn't seem loud to you, but it's kind of loud.
I'm putting up my art stuff.
I know you're putting up your art stuff. Okay, that was really good. That was like a ninja. Put that one up. See if you can do them all like a ninja.
I am a ninja.
I call him General Badger for a reason. I love it. Oh, that was not like a ninja. That was like Kung Fu Panda.
It's good enough.
Right? Then never mind. And people say you will never bug out. Shit happens, homie. Fire, water, all the time. Have a plan. I agreed. Striker Kate, appreciate that. It's not that loud. Thank you. How to start our own ops in our areas, not just for me, for everyone. All right, so I've got videos coming about that on Patreon, Survival Savage. A lot of people, so here's the deal. A lot of people gravitate towards the sexy stuff. I want to do CQB, I need nods, we need to be able to take down this house in 90 seconds or less, blah, 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 blah. Everybody focuses on that because that's the cool stuff. What you need to be able to do is network and build rapport and then develop intelligence packets that you can drop on the desks of people who have badges, that because you're that versed in whatever this situation is, you then become the subject matter expert so that people with badges invite you into the operation. Unless you are currently a law enforcement officer, in which case you don't need to ask me how to get involved in these things. Everybody gets it backwards. Everybody gets it wrong. That's another thing with the cinematography regarding anti-human trafficking. It's not all ops, or the ops that it is are not direct action to go take this house down and rescue these people. It's 3, 6, 12, 18 months of building pattern of life on the scumbags so that you can get a warrant, so that you can go and take down this place, so that you can get the scumbags, maybe. Yes, sweetie. That's a really good cat.
You need to show them.
Yes. I will show the cat. But then I gotta talk to the people, okay? That is the cat.
My kitty.
Very, very nice. So, how do you start your own ops? What can you bring to the table? Who's the sheriff? Who's the district attorney? Who are the people in your area who can actually take these people down? If I can help with the ugly stuff, I will gladly help. Just let me know if I could ever help. Roger. Somebody said, how do you locate the scumbags? Patterns of behavior. Tips. Work begets work. Righteousness begets righteousness. Start. Get your PI license, or have somebody in your crew have a PI's license, then go to law enforcement and say, hey, we're particularly interested in providing to you free of charge intelligence regarding human trafficking and pedophilia. Then you build rapport with those people, the law enforcement, whoever the sheriff is, whoever the police chief is, blah, blah, blah. And then you produce and you deliver and you over-deliver and over-deliver and over-deliver. And finally they say, you guys know your stuff. You want in on this? Yes, I do. Thank you very much. There's also, to be absolutely clear, there's a lot of anti-law enforcement sentiment in whatever this movement is that we're a part of. Not all law enforcement is good law enforcement. Not all law enforcement is righteous law enforcement. But a lot of them are. And you cannot do what we do. You cannot do what Operation Underground Rescue does without law enforcement. You can't do it. In the United States of America, if you take somebody against their will, that's kidnapping, not anti-human trafficking. What do you do when law enforcement is part of the problem, as in the perps? You go to a higher level of law enforcement, or a lateral move on law enforcement. Part of that, again, is getting back to networking, finding people in the judicial system who have a hard-on for putting pedos in the ground. Higher level just gets more corrupt. Really breaking free because you've been doing this? Be careful with your words. Be careful what you talk about on that side of the camera when you're not over here on this side of the camera doing it. Just gets more corrupt. Have you experienced that? Because I know a bunch of people in three-letter agencies that most people would say are absolutely corrupt and full of shit. They're out there busting their ass and putting their lives on the line every day so they can lock up these assholes. So be careful speaking in generalities, especially speaking about things you know nothing about. Break your myopic paradigms. Three-letter agency equals bad. There are still good people inside of them. And if there weren't, this country would have already collapsed. Be careful with your words. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Don't tell me what it's actually like over here. Which feds? There's lots of feds. Which feds in which organization? Which task force? Tasked to what thing? At what time? You need to go do something, sweetie. Okay? Thank you. Nothing beats a failure like a try. There are wicked people everywhere. Exactly. Right? I guess we might as well not do it at all since all feds and all law enforcement are corrupt. What other questions do we have? Got a dear friend in the ATF that busts human trafficking all the time. Even the agency we don't like has good people. I agree. Bear, where would you report a nonprofit agency trafficking kids? The Department of Homeland Security has federal jurisdiction over human trafficking. Or email us. Bear, would you start your own church? Well, Buckeye, you're in it, homie. What's your PT look like these days, Bear? The same it has looked like for a while. Bodyweight calisthenics, rucking. That's about it. I eat meat. I eat a lot of meat. That's about it. Very basic. Push-ups, sit-ups, leg lifts, assisted pull-ups. I'm still too bulky to just do pull-ups, chin-ups. Like, I need some rucking with anywhere between 55 and 78 pounds currently. Yeah. That's it. When will Zeet Zeet be in the store? I don't know. Soon. Joe Will, I threw 50 pounds on my shit. Good job. I'm moving up. What's your email? I literally saw one of the current execs take money from a known trafficker. admin@grindstoneministries.com. That's correct, Striker Kid. I also press skid steers, leg press skid steers. Where do we get training on how to spot human trafficking? 12C, I'm working on that. I want to put a video series together for that. I'm working on it. I've been doing these Sunday videos, right? We're going to begin touching on that, how to spot what trafficking looks like, somebody who's being trafficked. The fact of the matter is, 8 out of 10 times, you're not going to see the person being trafficked. Bear, how are you today? Hillbilly Homesteader. Being completely frank, I'm really sore. But I'll make it. I'm on this side of the dirt. I have everything I need and most of what I want. I'm surrounded by awesome people. I serve an absolutely incredible, righteous Father who inexplicably loves me and has given me more than my heart could possibly desire. I get to do awesome things with awesome people. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Thanks for asking. Shalom from western Wisconsin. Shalom from eastern Oklahoma, Zach. Barry, you're a good person with a heart to serve our Father. Thank you, one-legged prepper. Hopefully, again, I'm not special, y'all. Hopefully I can just simply illustrate, like, the Father can use anybody. Anybody. You listening right now, he can use you. If you're willing to let him use you, if you're willing to trust him, if you're willing to take risks, if you're willing to realize that, like, this flesh is temporary, the soul is forever. All this shit, all this material stuff that I'm surrounded by means nothing in the big scheme of life. If you're willing to do the things that actually matter and be obedient to the creator of the universe, not your free will and your opinions and how you think it ought to be, but what did God say? If you're willing to hear the voice of the creator, he'll use you. And if he's using you, it can only be for good. The fruits of that can only be righteousness. I'm not special. Again, to go back to that issues that I have with the Sound of Freedom thing, like, put no man on a pedestal. Messiah himself said, why do you call me good? No one is good but Elohim. Jesus, Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach said, why do you call me good? None is good but Elohim. Don't look at the man. Look at the Father. Don't be worried about the persona. Do the works. Don't worry about the words. Receive, Shema, hear the message. It's like, thank you, but don't make it about me. Don't make it about Tim Ballard. Don't make it about Tony Robbins or Andy Frisella or Ed Milet, or pick a person. It's not about them. It's about the Father, period, the end. Because at the end of an age, when we all stand in judgment, it's you and Yahuwah, your Elohim, the Lord your God. That's it. That's it. And if you listened to his voice and if you did what he needed you to do, then you will be blessed. Deuteronomy 28. And if you did not, if you knew the will of God, but you chose not to do it because it was hard, it was dangerous, it was uncomfortable, inconvenient, You just didn't feel like it. That is literally unforgivable. The only unforgivable sin is the denying of the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. And if you're focusing on anything but the Father, how the hell are you supposed to hear his voice when he asks you to step out in faith? You're focused on all these other personalities, all this other material bullshit. Oh my gosh, did you see what Russia did in Ukraine? Oh man, and China and Japan and BRICS and yeah, it's important for the world, but the world is way less important than the disposition of your eternal soul. And if you're worried about all that other shit to the detriment of your relationship with the Most High, you're failing this physical proving ground for your soul. So thank you, but don't put me up on a pedestal. I know me way better than you do. I know I'm a way bigger piece of shit than you can fathom. I've just figured out how to be in unison with my Creator on a handful of things that he has asked me to do for his glory. That doesn't make me special or unique, because that's how we're all supposed to be operating. And if we live in such a broken, fallen world that makes me special and unique, we have to ask ourselves, what the hell is wrong with this society that we live in? That some normal guy simply doing what the Father convicted him to do is exalted, when that should be the baseline minimum standard for everybody. Back to the chat. I don't know why I went live, other than the Father said, hey, you should go live. And here we are, and it's deep tonight. RGV Services, Shalom from McAllen, Texas. Man, I am so familiar with McAllen, Texas. Bear, will you give us, the Bear Nation, a heads up when the balloon goes up? Of course, bro. Assuming that I'm capable of communicating via the interwebs, I will do that. What other questions we got? Put them in all caps. That way I'll see them. Kermode, we do our best to suck less every day, brother. Amen. Bear, how did you find the courage to obey when Yah told you to make Caleb house? Oof. When you've met the maker of heaven and earth face to face, how do you say no? I think, I don't know about anybody else, but I know what Yah's voice sounds like. And I was standing in the driveway at Bethany House, which is another restoration facility operated by the Demand Project. And I was just crushed by the fact that we even needed a facility like this in the first place. And I was crying out to the Father, just talking to him. I talked to him like I would talk to a friend. I was crying out and I was like, we need more of these. There has to be more of these. He was like, yeah. I was like, what are we going to do? It's like, you're going to build more of these. I was like, well, literally somebody took the needle off the record. What? You're going to make more of these. I don't know how. So? This is not what I signed up for. Did I stutter? No, sir, you did not stutter. Good. You're going to make more of these. Okay. And do you realize in that moment that required a collaborative effort? Because I don't know how to do all this. It required me to lean on y'all. It required that we do this together. Because I don't have the money, I don't have the expertise, I don't have the depth of understanding about how to do all this. It forced me to get better as a leader. It forced me to start humbling myself and asking for help when it was needed. And if you think about what prayer is an external confession of an inward heart condition. You think I surprised Yah when I said we need more of these? No shit, son. I'm glad you just figured that out. Now you understand what I already knew. Why do you think I brought you here so you could see this? Because I need you, big, tough, strong bear man, to be broken to the point where you will receive the fact that there has to be more of these. So I can use you, as I fearfully and wonderfully created you, to begin to be the catalyst, the pipe through which I work, to assemble the network, to build the next one, and the next one, and the next one. God knows there has to be more of these. It required me realizing that to come into union with Him so that there could be more of these. Prayer wasn't for Him, it was for me. That's how prayer works. You never surprise the Father with your prayers. You are externally confessing the inward condition of your heart when you pray. That's why I think it's important that you pray verbally, because life and death is in the power of the tongue, even if all you can do is whisper, because your soul is being crushed, or because you're just that unworthy. If all it is a whisper, I think a whisper in righteousness is louder than the cacophony of hell and disobedience. But it takes that external confession of the inward heart condition to come into alignment with the Father's will. And that's when stuff gets done via prayer. That's when things start happening. Because the prayer is not about you bending the Father to your will. It's about your heart being malleable enough to be bent to His will, to come into union with what He wants. You're not going to talk God into your plan. It's not about that. It's about saying, I'm here, and I see this thing, it has to get done. And if you would trust me with just a little bit to help get this thing done, I think we might be able to accomplish a lot. And I feel like at times He's up there going, man, son, I've been waiting a lifetime to hear that from you. I have this for you. You're finally ready to step into this. Water. That's why I get emotional when we pray. Exactly, Ghost. What's up, Drew? Oof, you're not going to talk God into your plan, right? Quillen Teleshevik, I'm just so afraid of failing Him. How do I get over that and just make that leap of faith? I would begin with understanding we've all already failed Him. We've all already failed Him. And if failing Him was a deal breaker, He wouldn't have killed Himself for us so we could come home again. He loves us in spite of the fact that we fail Him. Unconditional love. If your heart is in the right place, and I don't mean some hippy-dippy bullshit, I believe and therefore I am. But if you are striving with your soul, with every fiber of your being, to do the right thing, to put a smile on the Father's face, how could you disappoint Him? He literally became flesh so that He could be the atoning sacrifice to remove your lawlessness so that you could come home again. And He did that not just for you, but for every single human being on the face of the earth throughout the entirety of space-time. The only way, see, Isaiah says your sins have created a separation between you and Yah. Yeah, your sins did that. Yah didn't do that. Your sins did that. Okay, teshuva, repent, turn from your wicked ways and come home again, which means to humble yourself. You were wrong. I'm sorry, I was wrong. You were right, Dad. I want to be in this house because I love you and I know you know what's good for me. So I'm here. Use me as you see fit. Teach me, train me, weaponize me for good so that I can go out there and I can be the light and I can bring other people to you. If you fail at doing that, oh, my goal was to save 100 souls and I only got 87. What a failure. Really? See, this is this concept of our God is a jealous God. And people will think, there's a negative connotation on jealousy. It's like, no. He loves you so relentlessly that the moment that you begin to step away from him, he chases you. He wants you. That's the difference. If it was simply cause and effect, if it was simply if then, the fact that he wants you wouldn't factor in. But clearly he wants you. Because he came to earth to be flesh, to be the atoning sacrifice so that you could come back into his presence. How could you fail him? More than we already have and more than has been forgiven already. The only way that you fail him to the point that he disregards you is when you knowingly and intentionally do it. And if you do that enough times, you will be disregarded. Because there's too many other people. There's too many cries for help. Bless you, Deborah. There's too many cries for help to deal with your boy cried wolf bullshit. So if you're yearning with everything that you have to please the Father, it's almost like that old axiom, if you aim for the moon and miss, you still land amongst the stars. Well, the stars are a lot farther away than the moon is, according to physics. If you're into that Neil deGrasse Tyson kind of bullshit. My point is, how can you be so worried about disappointing him? The answer is probably because you had a negative experience or a multitude of negative experiences with your father or father-type figures in your life, which have now made you gun-shy about disappointing the Father, the creator of the universe, because if a man could be this bad to me and hurt me that bad, the omnipresent creator of the universe could utterly destroy me if I fail him. But that was bad parenting, not a bad God. And don't ascribe man's bullshit to God. We all have our own scar tissue that needs to heal due to bad parenting. Damn autocorrect. Man, you guys chat fast. That's awesome, Ghost. Absolutely loving the deep talk tonight. My alarm now says no peasant shit. Get up. That's awesome. That's awesome. So much Bear Live this week. What's up, the Great Flood? Hey, I saw one of your questions on the Give Me Your Questions post on Patreon earlier. What other questions do we have? Bear donated 1,000 to you via my works donations. Hope it made it through. Bless you. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. What are we drinking tonight? Ice, Jim Beam, splash of Jim Beam, and a, what is this thing? Mike's Hard Limeade as a mixer. Auto corrupt. Shalom, brother Hans. We love you back, brother. Is the scriptural prohibition on remarriage after divorce still in effect? You can't remarry the man you were divorced from. Yes. Everything's still in effect. The only thing that's not currently in effect are the Levitical sacrificial laws, because there's no temple and the high priest is Yeshua. Read Hebrews 8. Everything else is still in effect. Period. The end. A law forever throughout all your generations and all your dwellings. And then read Revelation, where all of that Levitical stuff happens again. There's a temple, there's temple service, there's sacrifices. Hell, we even need 12,000 Levites in in Revelation chapter 7. Why? For temple stuff, bro. Yes, it's all still in effect. All of it. From Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 through Revelation 22. All of it's in effect. Period. The end. Forever and ever. Amen. Not because Bear said, but because God said. They already flunked the perfect heifers. Yeah, what's funny is, Dan Goodrich, I've seen that question multiple times. I haven't met Yah. Does that mean I'm not saved? Do you believe? Do you believe? If you believe, and not with your brain. Oh, snap. Here we go. You know it's getting real. Acts, Galatians. Where's my Hebrews at? Hebrews. Come on, where's my boy Jimmy at? Jacob, James, the blood brother of Yeshua HaMashiach. James. So good. So good. Mm-hmm. Do you believe? James chapter 20. Oh, I'm sorry, chapter 2, verse 20. Yes, sweetheart. It's a very nice water bottle. I particularly like the painter's tape. Looks really good.
Should I have used it?
You're fine. James chapter 2, verse 20. But do you wish to know, O foolish man, that the belief without the works is dead? Was not Abraham, our father... Oh my gosh, why is Abraham being brought up in the New Testament by Jacob, the blood brother of Messiah? Because it wasn't all nailed to the cross. Was not Abraham, our father, declared right by works? What? That sounds like a works-based theology. You should quit listening to that gay pastor behind the podium and read the Word of God. Was not Abraham, our father, declared right by works when he offered Isaac his son on the slaughter place? Do you see that the belief was working with his works, and by the works the belief was perfected? And the scripture was filled, which says, Abraham believed Elohim, and it was reckoned to him for righteousness. And he called him he who loves Elohim. You see then that a man is not declared right by works. You see then that a man is declared right by works and not by belief alone. In the same way was not Rahab the whore also declared right by works when she received the messenger and sent them out another way? For as the body without the spirit is dead, so also the belief is dead without the works. If you have to ask that you're saved, my answer is Start doing the things that saved people do. Revelation 22, verse 12. And see, I am, Yeshua speaking, and see, I am coming speedily, and my reward is with me to give each according to his work. I'm the Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are those doing his commands, so that the authority shall be theirs unto the tree of life, and to enter through the gates into the city. Blessed are those doing whose commands? For as the body without the spirit is dead, so also belief is dead without the works. Ote. Ote. What if I see saved people acting very poorly towards other humans? They are probably, air quote, saved. Not saved, saved. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no one deceive you in any way, because the falling away is to come first, and the man of lawlessness is to be revealed, the son of destruction. The man of who? The man of lawlessness. What's the law? The Torah, the instruction. The man of lawlessness is to be revealed. But while I'm more of a Pauline doctrine guy, well, good news for you. This was written by Shaul of Tarsus, a.k.a. the Apostle Paul, in the New Testament after the death, burial, and resurrection and the brilliant conversion on the road to Damascus. The Apostle Paul, Shaul of Tarsus, 1-1, Shaul and Silas and Timotheus to the assembly of the Thessalonians and Elohim our Father and the Master Yeshua Messiah. So take all that doctrinal bullshit and just throw it away and listen to the words of Paul. Let no one deceive you in any way, because the falling away is to come first. And the man of lawlessness is to be revealed, the son of destruction, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called Elohim or that is worshipped, so that he sits as Elohim in the dwelling place of Elohim, showing himself that he is Elohim. Antichrist, anyone? The man of lawlessness? Do you not remember that I told you while I was still with you, and now you know what restrains for him to be revealed in his time? For the secret of lawlessness is already at work, nailed to the cross. For the secret of lawlessness is already at work, only until he who now restrains comes out of the midst, and then the lawless one shall be revealed, whom the master, Yeshua Messiah. See, the master and the lawless one can't be the same person. According to this proof text in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, read it with your own eyeballs. And then the lawless one shall be revealed, whom the master shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and bring to naught with the manifestation of his coming. The coming of the lawless one, we don't have to do that. That was nailed to the cross. We're under the law of grace now. We don't have to do that. From the mouth of Paul in the New Testament after the death, burial, and resurrection and miraculous road to Damascus moment. The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Satan, with all power and signs and wonders of falsehood, and with all deceit of unrighteousness in those perishing, because they did not receive the love of the truth in order for them to be saved. And for this reason, Elohim sends them a working delusion for them to believe the falsehood, in order that all should be judged who did not believe the truth, but have delighted in unrighteousness. I know so many people hate it when I read the Bible on camera, but you know, 2A, America, 4th of July, constitutional literalist. What was written by men has to be taken literally, or otherwise it's a severe infraction on our constitutional rights. But the Word of God shouldn't be taken literally because it makes me feel uncomfortable. Okay, P-word, whatever you're into. Troy T, bless you. Thank you. Hey, and I'm loving the super chats. YouTube takes a portion of the super chats. So if you want to give to Caleb House, please go to calebhouse.org, Kaleb house.org. I will take every dollar that has been from this live stream and I will set it towards Caleb House. Every dollar that's left after YouTube takes their cut. So I really super duper appreciate the super chats. 100%, as the kids say on the street. But calebhouse.org with a K, calebhouse.org, 0% goes to YouTube if you donate there. Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you, J.S. Badger. Shalom, brother. Canadian Wolverine. Love when you read the scriptures. Appreciate that. One of my favorites to prove that the Torah is still valid. 1 John 3, verse 4. There you go. West Virginia prepared. Sin is lawlessness, and all who do sin do lawlessness. Fat Fisherman. Those 420 beds do not include Bethany House or Caleb House. Bethany House, if you want updates on Bethany House, you can go to the Demand Project and get some updates there. How shall I say? They've had some hiccups. Bethany House has. They're not as far along as they would like to be. They're not as far along as we would like them to be. They've also had some trials and tribulations. I don't fault them for that. When you are working against something this entrenched, it's a $150 billion a year industry. Guys, I don't have $150 billion. When you're working against a $150 billion a year industry that is operated by Hasatan, the Nahash, the enemy, Satan, straight up, and it goes all the way to the top, don't be surprised when you hit a couple speed bumps. I have had people. JSOC has a tier system, right? Tier 3, Tier 2, Tier 1. And it's a rank order. It's really a pissing contest because everybody inside of that pyramid of JSOC, Joint Special Operations Command, they're all a bunch of badasses.
Is this too loud?
A little bit, but it's okay. One more badass than the next, right? And people free flow through these different levels on the triangle. I've had people from all three tiers in Joint Special Operations Command come to me in person, point blank, and say, dude, this is really dangerous. You need to consider not doing this. It goes all the way to the top. All the way to the top. I talked to XYZ person at ABC agency and they said, don't do this. This is really dangerous. It goes all the way to the top. Okay, cool. Thanks for the heads up. Thanks for the multiple witnesses on that. Are you going to talk me out of this? You're going to talk me out of this. Okay. Well, they're shut your businesses down. They're Yah's businesses. I just get to steward them. They'll shut your ministries down. Cool. Let's go underground. Could you imagine the shit we could do if we were truly underground? They'll take away your YouTube channel. Awesome. One less potential OPSEC vector.
Dad, can this be my baby's snack?
Absolutely. They'll destroy your life. Not my life. Meat, sleeping bag filled with an eternal soul from Yah. You F with my people. That'll get interesting. But how do you not? Oh, it goes all the way to the top. Okay, cool. All right, at least we now know where the targets are. Thanks. $150 billion a year industry. You can buy every NBA team and every MLB team and every Target and every Starbucks and still have money left over. Let me say that again. You could buy every professional basketball team and every professional baseball team and every Target in the United States and every Starbucks in the United States and still have money left over every year. So, again, I ain't special. I'm just some dude in Oklahoma that the father tapped on the shoulder and was like, hey, you're going to do this. Roger that. We're going to do this. Sounds good. And let's never take away from the fact that there are badass teams of people that you guys never see, you'll never meet, that are out there making stuff happen, putting their lives on the line too. Oh no, it's tough. Cool. My brothers count it all joy when you fall into various trials.
Dad,
Check.
If you want a quarter, you do this.
You put quarters in your Pez dispenser?
Yeah.
That is like, are you an evil genius?
No, I just have good ideas.
Oh, okay, cool. I like it.
And then you're supposed to be able to push one of these out.
Let me see. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of quarters, dude.
It's 5.
Yeah. I think 4 works better.
Okay.
And not doesn't quite have the room for 5.
Yeah, 5 is a little pushed out.
Kelly Bonesteel, bless you. Thank you. There you go. I fixed it.
And then, if you want the quarters, just take them out. Then you can slide them back in. Don't fall out. And that even when it's tipped over, it doesn't fall out.
That's really cool. Sorry. Entrepreneur brain, I was like, I wonder if we can get little tiny bars of silver the size of Pez and then put those in a Pez dispenser and maybe they're like 1/10 of an ounce and then we could use that for SHTF post-apocalyptic like barter and trade because we all know the dollar's going to go to hell in a handbasket.
Tell me when you run out of these.
I will. I will let you know when I run out of those. Hemi, thoughts on a gen set powered by wood gas? Man, I've like, it's on my bucket list, bro. Wood gasifiers are super cool. Haven't built one yet. I got the book on how to do it, but that's not the same as having done it. I would love to do it. Maybe one day when I'm retired, air quote. Or maybe one day when the world ends up like, oh, I have a book for this. I'm going to go ahead and make one. Tom Anon Bear, bless y'all. Thank you. So which Pez dispenser would you rock for the new currency? It would obviously be this head on a Pez dispenser. Or maybe just like the bear logo on a Pez dispenser. Filled with little tiny silver bars. Pez bars. Yes, babe. Impressive.
Now.
Oh, is Sanctified in the chat? What's up, Sanctified? You have a radio guy. Maybe you need a wood gas guy. Yeah, I mean, my radio guys are really good, but they're also radio guys. And they also have real lives outside of this shenaniganry called surviving the end of the world as we know it. And so... Okay. Yeah, just be chill. Okay. Do you recommend a place to get silver from? No, I don't recommend a place to get silver from. I know we have people in the Bear Nation who are silver dealers. So if
I
you're
have
a
silver teeth, just yank them out.
so if you're a silver dealer, go ahead and just drop a link in the chat.
Or just pull out my teeth.
You're so much. I never bothered to comment, guys. I just made the Ford Observer fix the radio. There you go. Doobie, doobie, doo. Oh my gosh.
What? It's so crazy. Bleh.
Dr. Trevor is sending me more memes.
Who's that?
Stand by.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Chill. Sorry. Text messages. Important. Text messages from people about things. Where's Mom? Mom is at a ladies' Bible study. Anthony Jensen. Hey, Bear, that bull I mentioned last week is hanging on a rail now. I love it.
Yep, my mom is at Bible study.
Is Homie Biscuits in the chat? There she is.
Biscuits.
This is what happens when you live stream and Mom's not home. Truth.
I like biscuits.
How's your Jackery generator holding up? So the generator, the battery portion is great. One of the two solar panels failed. We don't know why it failed. And one could make the argument, well, it failed because you left it outside all the time. Well, dumbass, that's where the sun's at. And occasionally, outside, it'll rain, freeze, sleet, snow, hail, all those things. Oh, the triumphant return of Mama. Beautiful. So having one of the two panels fail, that's a 50% failure rate. Not the best. But it failed after about a year of being outside. And so either hook your Jackery up to some different solar panels or have multiple solar panels that you can go deep with, that when one fails, you have a replacement for it. The brain box itself, which it says like in the manual, not necessarily rated to be outside during extreme weather. I don't care. Like you're going to give me something for T&E, I'm going to T&E it. I left the battery box, the brain box, outside with its liquid crystal display, LCD screen, and exposed USBs and power ports and the whole nine outside. Like 120 degree heat, negative 20 degree cold, hail, rain, flooding, snow. Just left it in the driveway.
What?
Still works. Now, tell me about your thing. You did a double row? Let me see that.
There's a daddy long legs.
I don't care. I'll just shoot the daddy long legs. No big deal. So that's considerable. That's 250 right there. Look at that.
Mama! Ah!
Mama.
There's
Oh, you got your volume on.
Oh.
Hi, babe.
Hi.
Here you go.
I put another
I love
one
it.
there.
Looks good. Are Generac generators any good? What's up, Cindy P? They're not bad. The big ones are pretty damn good. Bear, what will Yah do to Satan upon his return? I wish deeply to see it. Read the book of Revelation. He will throw him into the lake of fire.
Will destroy him.
Yep.
Yeah.
The name Jackery kind of creeps me out. What's up, Rocklick Ranch? Long time no see. Prepper operator. Okay, so that's the third time you've done that. We need to not do that again.
That's enough.
Prepper operator. Thoughts on OUR and the Sound of Freedom. You need to go back to the 5-minute mark of this video and listen for 25 minutes. You have a new message from Amy Birdsall. What's up, Amy Birdsall? Amy Birdsall is on the customer chat on the website right now. I bet you guys didn't know every time you use the chat feature on refugemedical.com, I'm notified. I am privy to every conversation you ever had on there. Do you know why?
2 snacks.
Do you know why? Mostly just to keep an eyeball on our customer service department, who does a phenomenal job. Why would you tell people that?
No. Go.
Now they're going to abuse it to talk to you. No, I don't answer. I'm just privy to the conversation. If you write in the
spies on
chat,
people.
I need to talk to Bear, you're probably going to get on a long list of people who are not allowed to talk to Bear. That's not how you start that conversation. Hi, babe. How was Bible study?
It was good.
Did you study the Bible?
We did.
That's cool.
We read Acts.
The book of Acts. You coming
Oh,
over?
do you want me to come sit with you?
Messiah. The book of Acts.
Maybe. Oh. Oh. Shalom, Bear Nation. My voice is like all super horsey. I don't know what's going on. I gotta get my water. Hey, sit.
Front sight versus target sight for pistol. What are you shooting with your pistol? I shot a mouse off of a hay bale today with a Glock 19, 147 grain jacketed hollow points with factory Glock sights.
Yeah, scared the whole neighborhood.
Scared the whole neighborhood. All 7 people were like, "Oh my gosh, a gunshot!
What is going on?
No, not a gunshot. That
What are we shooting?
That never happens around here. What could it possibly have been?
Is it wartime?
A gunshot in coordination with "Mah" and "Moo."
I know. I
wonder
did.
what
I
could be
thought
happening.
you shot a sheep.
I crossed my freaking mind. I am
Uh-huh.
so ready for them to be back on pasture again.
Any new freeze drying adventures? No. I've got a bunch of stuff in the freezer to go into the freeze dryer. But I talked about it on last live stream. I've kind of taken a break during the super heat of the summer, just because it does add to the temperature of the house some. And so I've kind of chilled on freeze dry because we've got a lot of freeze dried food. So I can afford to like pause for a hot minute, wait for temps to come down, and then I'll freeze dry again once that happens.
I really appreciate you coming in clutch at the end of the live stream, like pinch hitting. This is great. Thanks, man.
That's what I do.
You want to do live together?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Dig it.
I mean, it never fails. I leave and you go live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was the mouse packing? Yeah, he had a 240, man. I was like, mouse with a belt fed. I better take this out now before he pulls the tripod out. 1 ounce silver bear facts. We get them separate or comes with any order over $300. That's a pretty damn good idea. Hold on. Texting Bob.
We should see if we could have like some like refuge ones minted or like engraved or something. Like some blanks stamped. That could be
100%.
cool.
I wonder how many ounces you have to get for a custom minting. I mean, that's why we have a Bob. Bob will have an answer tomorrow afternoon, I'm
Yes.
sure.
Yes, you will.
Bob is so good at bobbing people.
He is.
He's really good at bobbing people. Just like Dudley's good at duddling people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bob Bobbers.
Bob bobs people.
Bob the Builder.
Data expunged. Do you guys know why Pastor Joe Fox hasn't uploaded any sermons recently? I heard he's on hiatus. Yeah, I do know why. Because we're part of his assembly. And he announced why on his channel. I would recommend you go watch the last videos on Pastor Joe Fox Shofar Mountain. Because I don't want to put words in his mouth, but essentially, he's been pastoring a long time, and it's time for the men of the assembly to step into the rightful role as the priests of their home. And so we do the Torah portions now, and we do a midrash on the Torah portions where we all read. We sit around and we read the Torah portion and we discuss. And pastor's there, and if he still pastors, what's the root word of pastor? Pasture, shepherd. He still shepherds his people. He just isn't posting sermons to YouTube anymore.
Sit.
And I don't think y'all realize the level to which it can tax somebody to produce content for the internet, especially when you get into the Bible says XYZ, because there are so many friggin' retards out there like, but that's not what I was taught in church. It's like, I don't care what you were taught in church. What does the Bible say? Well, which Bible? I don't, King James version 1816 or else. I don't care. I don't care. Doctrinal bullshit of men. Okay with the stroller, honey. Jeez.
You can't be rolling back and forth. Okay.
Fundraiser Skeet shoot for Caleb House? Hell yeah, Oklahoma Sooner. And I'll tell you what, Oklahoma Sooner. The first round, I got $100 on the first round. Double or nothing all the way to the last round. I'll put $1,000 of bear money up just for the winner. In above and beyond fundraising for Caleb House, we'll just make it interesting. We can have up to $1,000 side bet. I've been known to clean 25 for 25 in multiple rounds. I'm just saying. You can ask Dr. Trevor. We've shot shotguns together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Skeet shooting. Bring it, son. Bring it. Let's do it. That sounds awesome. Admin at Grindstone Ministries, Oklahoma Sooner. Admin at grindstoneministries.com. When I was growing up in upstate New York, when I was po, I would just kill animals just to have something to eat. I would take a single shot 410 break barrel shotgun to the 5 stand where I would compete against guys with their $8,000 to $10,000 engraved over unders, 20 gauge and 12 gauge, and I would bet them $100 a round that I could beat them. And so they saw this poor ass kid wearing dirty Carhartts and boots with holes in them with a $70 H&R shotgun whipping their ass. And I consistently shot 24 out of 25 or 25 out of 25. And I consistently left there. This was before I knew what Torah was, every Saturday with multiple thousands of dollars and pissed off downstate New Yorkers who bought $10,000 worth of gear and still couldn't shoot. And I got a trick up my sleeve. Bring Ty from the office with me because that kid can freaking shoot too. So yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. Let's party. Where's the one that you had?
Right there.
Are you eating it?
No, I told you that I was pretending it for the Barbie.
Oh, okay.
But can I eat it?
Yes, you can eat the Barbie's blow pop. That sounds great. It's 9:30 at night. Mm-hmm. Hi, sweetie.
Good job.
Anywho, here we are. I'm out on betting bear on shotgun shooting. That was humiliating.
Okay.
Oh
the
man,
other one?
that was a good time, Trev.
Okay. Okay. Don't get sticky on the couch.
I won't. Or my Barbie.
Okay. I have no chat. I need chat.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There we go. Blue Wrench Joel. Ooh. Who? I don't see a Joel. Blue Wrench will get him
Joel?
if he's out of
Yoel?
line.
Who's Yoel? What's going on with Joel?
Shalom, Dudley.
Doodle, what's up, Doodle? I don't see Joel.
Hello.
Yeah, whatever. Don't worry about it.
How my Sunday went well. Good, Cindy. I'm glad to hear it.
Buckshot. 267 out of 270. That's a great day. That's phenomenal.
We added a window unit to
To
the room with
with
dryer.
the dryer.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they do heat up a space, and the room that mine's in has a window, but I don't want the added cost of like I said, we've got enough freeze dried room that I can pause for a hot minute and wait a couple of months for it to cool down and then start again. Tiny, lay down.
Sorry, me and Bob are now texting about being warlords post SHTF since we're minting our own silver coinage now.
Of course.
You know how it goes.
I need to make sure the kids' rooms are closed.
Oh, T! How are the mini splits working out? What's up, Montana Sky? They're working out great. They're working out great. Like, they use very little electricity. They're very efficient. We have 2 of 4 mini splits installed in the home. We're planning. Hey, turn that down, Wheeze. Please and thank you.
Oh, here, my Bluetooth is turned off.
We're planning on adding 2 more, and yeah, then we'll be 100% in compliance on mini splits. It's just a funding issue currently. Good night, Bare Metal. Yeah, I got about 15 more minutes in me. That makes about a 2-hour live stream, and that's how.
Wasn't connected.
That's usually how these things go. Nice. Refuge Ruckus.
Dr. Trevor, you actually have to like post the HTTPS link. If you just type it, it doesn't actually link. I found out because I did that.
How do you like Pantera's new tour? I've had no awareness of Pantera for a decade. Being completely honest. I might be getting the official dates for the Refuge Ruckus right now. Which
It's Sunday.
no. That's
the
Whiskey
Ruckus.
with a Bear.
Oh.
Tora Bob, yes you can. Will you ship to where? They go by so fast.
I know.
Yes, Tora Bob, yes you may.
Will you ship Bear Silver to Australia?
Hell yeah. Well,
Maybe.
we might be
I don't know.
a little less than honest.
Australia is quite expensive to ship to. I have an electric stove, and the weight of the pan heats up the house. I chose to get a dehydrator. Yeah, even the dehydrators can heat up your house. I mean, it's literally blowing warm air.
Truth.
To dehydrate the food. So, even that will heat up your home to an extent. Recommended installer for mini split.
You.
Yeah, we went with Mr. Cool, which is like a DIY pre-charged lines, and it was pretty easy peasy. A lot of them that are on the market, you have to have an HVAC guy to install it. And I didn't want to deal with having an HVAC guy, so I bought the Mr. Cool.
We actually
They are a little bit more expensive.
We
though.
actually have HVAC guys.
Yeah.
Which is like.
Yeah, we had another one.
It's a whole nother thing tribally that I don't think people quite realize. It's like, we have all these awesome people and they have so many skills and I can just use my awesome people to do whatever I want whenever I want them. Nope, they're real people too, and they have a real life, and they're also going to use you and your awesome skills for their shit when they need it, and sometimes coordinating a whole group of awesome people, that in of itself is a job. And let me tell you, being mayor pays $0 a month. And the mayor has to pee. I'll be right back.
Oh. Okay.
I trust you with this.
Yeah. Well, here, let me see your phone. So, I don't. Where are you going?
Did you see these awesome ghetto booty pants I got for the dud?
I did not. They look like a snake's print, though.
They're the only ones I could find in this size.
Alligator. Are they like MC Hammer pants?
You got it. They're 100% MC Hammer pants.
Are they?
Yep,
They're
they're
like parachute pants.
legitimately parachute pants.
Sweet. I want some.
These are for you, Dud. And they have a drawstring, bro. So I
mean,
think
kinda.
I think you're gonna be
They're
good.
not quite parachute pants. Parachute pants had like the elastic at the bottom.
They're not actually parachute
Actually,
pants.
no.
I
They
think-
had like the straps that went around the bottom of your foot. The strap pants.
They're not parachute pants.
Oh.
I've been trolling you this whole time.
Oh, well, fine.
They're not actually parachute pants,
Wow.
but they're the only.
I don't like them.
Okay, good. Well, we're done. So.
I only like parachute pants.
But they're like super lightweight. They're noisy though.
They are noisy,
Cryptech Highlander.
but they're weird. It's like floral. Like, look at this.
It's not.
It does. It looks
It's not
like a flower.
floral.
It looks like a flower petal.
That is snakeskin,
Like,
ma'am.
look,
Super
and then
manly
there's like that,
and tough.
No, snakes run in a line. This is like
Snakes
this is
run
like
in a
manly
line.
floral. Like, I'm not even joking. There's like little bunches. There's like little clusters of like
Mm-hmm.
the center, and then the little petals. It's man floral.
So my brother Dudley can kick you in the face and kill you with his foot, and because of that, he has some interesting human geometry.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, you think I have big legs? That brother has big legs.
Yeah, Dud does.
And so, because he has big legs, it's kind of like me with shirts.
Yeah, I
Like-
guess more tortoise shell.
Like, I have, like, 3X shoulders, but I'm, like, down to, like, a 1X gut.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, it's kind of like him, you know?
Yeah.
He's got that 3X ghetto booty. And he ain't fat. He's just got a 3X ghetto booty.
Right.
And so, anyway, Dud, they're for you. They're here. They're on the table. But they're pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How many do you wear Zeet? Just curious. I actually don't. I have a Zeet bracelet that, well, I guess kind of I do. Because I have a Zeet bracelet that I wear on the buckle of my pants whenever I wear pants that have buckles. But even then, I'm bad about wearing them daily, or wearing it daily. But one of our awesome sisters got me that, and I love it. It's like a blue and white, and it's got a couple of beads on it, and then it's got a clasp to wear it as a bracelet. But like, I've got a pair of overalls that it stays on, that one of them stays on permanently, and it's on like the top zipper of the like top pocket, and I love wearing it. So let's see, what else do we got? Mommy, what do you carry? A skin for my wife? I don't know. I don't understand.
What
Ghost.
do you carry asking for my wife?
Oh, like pistol wise? I've got a, what is it, a Glock?
It's a Mark 46 machine gun, belt fed. They don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I like shoulder fired rockets personally for everyday carry.
No, it's a 9mm. It's a Glock something. I don't know. It's a smaller one. What? 43? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a Glock 43. It's a 9mm. That's what I know. And then that's like my purse gun, and then I've got a Keltec Sub 2000 that is like my car gun.
With 6 33 round stick magazines.
Right.
filled with 115 grain jacketed hollow points.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm always down to clown.
100%.
What is the dress code for Sunday night?
That's a great question.
It is a great question because
I'm
I
wearing-
asked this question earlier.
I am wearing jeans without stains or holes,
Yeah, he's wearing clean jeans.
boots that aren't terribly scuffed, and a shirt with a collar.
Yes. And
This is our gala, but it's not gay.
right.
Like, tux is not required. You don't need a sport coat.
Right. I'll be wearing a dress probably and some flats.
yeah.
I'm thinking,
Yeah.
but I don't really know.
You wear that dress, girl. Oomph.
How did Hami and Bear meet and marry?
This has to be on the FAQs. We need a Bear Independent FAQs.
Mm-hmm.
That would actually be fun to where like we just establish the FAQs, then we do a 60-second video for each one.
Right.
Because it's like, Bear, what striker fired polymer frame 9mm pistol should I get? I don't care. Stop asking me. We met on the internet,
Yes.
which is probably why the internet plays such a large portion in our lives today.
I mean, that would kind of make sense, I guess, huh?
It's like the first time we've had this revelation.
Huh.
Interesting. But I now talk for
It's
a
meant to
job.
be.
But at the time, I didn't talk to anybody at all, ever.
He was a very grumpy man, if you can imagine.
You know, not grumpy enough, apparently.
No, I just like a challenge. It's like, let's see what Hami can do with this guy.
You interior decorated my life.
I did.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's really nice. Some
Yep.
curtains, a little drapery.
I made you appeasing.
Soften
to
the
all
shadows.
people.
Yeah, thanks, babe. That was
You're
great.
welcome.
We met on an online dating site,
Yes.
and I kept seeing this name Harmony pop up over and over, and I was like, this girl's really cute, but what kind of freaking hippie names are Kid Harmony? Like, deal breaker. Nope. And apparently on her end, my name kept popping up over and over again. And she was like, this guy looks like an a-hole. Nope, not interested.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just kept popping up. It didn't matter. Y'all had a plan. Y'all can use binary code as well, right? Didn't matter how many times we, skipped each
Scrolled
other.
past, yep.
We kept popping up. And so, you emailed me.
I
didn't
did,
You
yep.
emailed me.
Yep. I was tired of seeing his mug come across my screen. And I was like, okay, because I'm one that, like, I think Yah uses patterns to speak to us. And so I recognized that there was a pattern that I kept seeing his face. And I was like, okay, I feel like, I'm going to be let down. But, like, if you're showing it to me, all right, fine. I'll write him. I'll see what's up. And so I did. And I wrote him, like, a paragraph. And I got back, like, an essay response from this man. And
Which is in of itself an exception to the rule. Because I'm not saying I'm a great communicator verbally, but I'm definitely not with the written word. I'm very curt.
yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And so we emailed back and forth for probably a week.
2 weeks.
And yeah, and then exchanged phone numbers. And because that was very much so like, I'm gonna play hard to get. Like, I'm tired of one-nighters. I'm tired of, guys that only want one thing and then they don't call you back. And so I was like, I'm gonna test this one and see if if he's got what it takes to like be patient and like want me.
So does like that test fall off after like 11 years?
Oh, shut up.
12 years? Where's the line?
You passed a while
Then
ago.
quit testing me.
It's just my nature.
So, yeah, after 2 weeks of emailing back and forth, we exchanged phone numbers, which is another thing. Like, so now I think we all take for granted, oh, Bear can talk on a phone forever. Not then. No way. I probably at that point in my life uttered less than 100 words verbally a day. It's the fact. And then I started talking to the woman who was going to be my wife on the phone. And we would talk for 3 or 4 hours every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. Until it was like, I have to go to sleep. You have to go to sleep. You have
Right.
stuff to do tomorrow. I have stuff to do tomorrow. I have to go to sleep. So we go to sleep and wake up the next day, message each other, text each other, hey, let's talk. Okay. And we would talk. Then after 2 weeks of that, she said, hey, my mom's having a barbecue at the house if you want to come over. And she was living in North Texas and I was living in southeastern Oklahoma, so I came over. And long story short, I said, what should I bring? She said, bring a 12-pack of Shiner. I was like, oh, man, this chick's
We
really
lived out the whole
cool.
thing. Like, my whole family, I mean, the
Everybody.
family I care about was
Everybody.
having a barbecue. And I had asked my mom, I'm like, hey, I want to meet this guy, but, like, what if he's, like, some internet weirdo that, like, tries to kidnap me?
Joke's on you. It worked. You're in Oklahoma now, bitch. Long game. Hashtag long game.
So, it was actually her suggestion. She was like, most men won't, come meet the girl and the whole family, like, the first day. So, like, why don't you invite him to this cookout? And if he shows up, he might be worth something. And so I invited him. And he was like, what do I need to bring? And I was kind of speechless because I really wasn't expecting him to be like, okay. And so, yeah, I was like, bring beer, I guess. I don't know.
12-pack of Shiner is what
Yeah.
you said. And I was like, this is going to work. 12-pack of Shiner. Good choice. So I got a 12-pack of Shiner and showed up, rang the doorbell, and our oldest daughter, who's technically from your previous marriage, but who is my daughter.
And who's 3 at the time.
3 at the time. Answered the door. I was like, hi, is your mommy home? She was like, yeah. And turned around and just ran away with the front door open.
She just let the internet weirdo in.
Screw it. In for a penny, in for a pound. I'm like, this is technically trespassing in Texas. Whatever. So, so she ran away. So I walked in the house, set the beer on the counter, and realized that everybody was in the backyard. So I walked into the backyard. And I remember when I walked into the backyard, to this day, I remember everything. Time literally stopped. There were flagpoles in the backyard. I know which flags were flying where, what direction the wind was blowing from, where everybody was standing in the backyard, everything. Time stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw my wife.
And y'all spoke to me when I looked up and I saw him and literally said, you can stop looking. And so I did.
And here we are.
And here we are.
Happily married all these years later. So, but I think kind of the crux of that as it relates to this, though, is that my wife had been praying for somebody who would talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't talk.
That wanted to talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't talk until I met her. I was so broken by life that it was so much easier to just be hurt and angry and never open the floodgates And then I met my wife, and I couldn't not talk to her. And in fact, when I can't talk to her, that's an indicator that something's wrong. And so if you've ever derived any value from this channel, you owe some thanks to my wife. Because I didn't talk to anybody before I met her. And that's just a fact. So y'all work some mysterious ways, and here we are 12 years later, talking to the internet yet again. In between yesterday and tomorrow morning, and talk to him tonight. And we've recorded 6 Patreon videos today.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, you did a lot of those. I just did 2.
Yeah, you helped though.
Yeah.
So really, if you think about it, downstream from there, all the blessings that have come from this channel all started with you needing somebody who would talk to you. So one prayer. This is where we're going to end this live stream tonight. One prayer from one woman with a broken heart a decade and a half ago was enough to begin the ball rolling as the catalyst for what we now call Bear Independent and Refuge Medical and Refuge Training and Prosperity and the Hood Rat Shit company that we don't talk about, and Grindstone and Caleb House and the
That's a lot of weight.
yep, thousands of tons of food and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of tons of debris and 82 lives saved and 2 dozen kiddos rescued and 5 bucket babies born and 8,000 Bibles donated. Your prayer. You started this thing. So, good job.
Thanks.
Yep. Oh, look at you. I can see you on camera doing this thing.
I know. I had to fan my tears away.
Yep. That goes back to patience, though, doesn't it? Because I feel like we're just getting started.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a long time ago that you prayed that prayer. That's kind of like, think about it when it's like, and Abraham cried out to Yah, and 20 years later, Yah's like, oh yeah, by the way, you're going to have a son.
Yep.
It took 20 years of iterating from the time that Abraham cried out to where they were ready to receive that blessing. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Tommy said lasagna night. He called it.
He also said he was intimidated by me.
Which
He
is
deleted
funny.
it. He retracted
Which
his...
is funny because Tommy's no pushover.
I know.
Tommy's what, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yep.
Kickboxer, taekwondo. Yeah, you're a ball of fire. All right, y'all. Go
We
to
love
bed.
you guys.
We got stuff to do.
Thanks for...
We'll see you tomorrow-ish for the brief.
Okay.
It's already been written. It'll just be a matter of time as to...
Hey, Mom, are you going to need your phone back?
Yeah, probably.
In a little bit.
Bless y'all. Y'all have a wonderful evening. And thank you for all the support for Caleb House tonight. Yeah, thank you. Please continue to help us spread the message. I really do appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Shalom.